Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Huge Pop from the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast with my boy Reek Reek. Tonight we have a professional wrestler. He was part of the Dirty Blondes. He wrestles for TCW, Thunder Championship Wrestling. His name is Brian Brock. Welcome to the show, my guy.
Hey.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. Down here in Tampa.
There you go, man.
So what's the weather like there right now?
It ain't bad. It's actually it ain't bad. It's been in about the 80s down here lately, so not too hot, and it ain't ever cold. So
really? It's raining here in the Panhandle, and it's about 70. So
Well, see, you got 70. It's raining here now. I'm looking at about 57.
Hey man, move south. That would solve everything. Your problem with no independent wrestling, and it'd be warm. So move south. So and then you could be by your grandkids.
That's right. Miss them.
So Brian, how old were you when you became interested in watching wrestling and go through that little stage of your life?
Well, I don't know. I don't know exactly how old I was when I first saw it, but I remember going to it going to see live wrestling for the first time, and I think I was about 6 or 7. Yep, that was down here. My dad took me to. They were running NWA Florida at the old Armory, like the famous Armory.
Yeah,
they even ran it on Tuesday nights, like in the old days.
Nice.
Some of the guys you met down there, like who'd you go to see?
Well, the main event that night was Steve Kern, Brian Blair against the Bushwhackers.
Nice.
Yeah, Steve Kern ended up turning on Brian Blair and bloodying him up, and my dad and I were talked about. I fell apart and started crying and freaked out.
Nice.
Yeah, the cool thing is I ended up getting trained by Steve Kern. It was kind of
all right. Nice.
Kind of a cool moment.
So did the Bushwhackers come out like this?
Oh yeah.
Thing? Yeah,
yep.
That's cool.
Doing their little thing.
Rico.
Those guys are pretty sweet, man. So who would you say had like the greatest influence and impact on your life? Kind of got you into wrestling.
Oh, definitely my dad. Yeah.
Definitely your dad?
Yeah, he was a big fan. Well, yeah, big fan in his younger days. And then, taking me, he always got a kick out of watching me watch wrestling, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it kind of coaxed you into it, like, hey,
yeah,
this is awesome, and you just fell in love with it.
Yep.
So do you watch any current wrestling right now, or do you stick to the independents, man?
When I watch wrestling, it's usually old stuff. Like I just recently finished like 83 World Class, the beginning of the Freebird Von Erich thing, and then I watch a lot like early 90s All Japan, and I rarely ever, if I watch current wrestling, it's usually just like one of the pay-per-views or something.
Do you think it's oversaturated, too much? Do you think it's just what do you think the issue is with the current wrestling stuff?
I don't know. I think it's probably just a generational thing. I think you care. I think how do you put it? I think you just, whatever it is that drew you in the first place, you're always gonna prefer that over anything else. Right. So I don't think there's anything wrong with current wrestling. I mean, they're doing something right.
Right.
Yeah. See, I always say it where it's kind of like where was I going with that one? It's just not like it used to be. You don't have any surprises anymore.
Yeah.
At the internet, you kind of know what's going to happen. Like Survivor Series.
Yeah.
We kind of knew Randy Orton was coming back just because everybody talked about it.
Yeah.
instead of just getting that surprise, that build up.
I didn't even know he came back.
Well, he hasn't come back yet. Like he's supposed
Oh.
to. Like, and that's what they're just like. Everybody just kept talking about. Oh yeah, Randy's coming back. All the news and stuff. No matter what you look at, it pops up. I'm like, I kind of wanted to get that surprise. I like that surprise.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So it's leaked. It's leaking, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah. It gets leaked out because you're sitting there, you're watching it. You get that reaction, like, oh,
yeah,
go crazy, but can't get that anymore. You already know. Now you're just kind of waiting. All right, when are they coming out?
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like independent scene because I mentioned XIW. They do every other month. Their big show every other month. So you don't know. You know what's coming ahead, but you don't know who's going to win. There's no rumor leaking out of there, so you guys keep it pretty tight and stuff like that. So when you got interested in wrestling and into the business, where did you train and who was your trainer?
So at first, I first started training. I did the FCW beginners class down here when they were still. I was the very last beginners class that they had, but of course it only lasted. It was only like a 4-month thing. It was kind of, I don't know. Some like depending on who you ask, a lot of people will talk about FCW beginners as like they call it like a fantasy camp, or that it was kind of a gimmick, like a money grab thing. But I've never thought of it like that because I don't know. I loved what I got out of that, and I don't know. A lot of the guys in that would get into that school would look at it like they thought they were going to get signed out of that. They thought they were going to somehow that was going to be their ticket to the top, and I just never looked at it like that. And I knew I don't know. I like to think I was smarter than to think that way, so that was never in my head at all. And from there, I wound up. So the trainers there were Steve Kern and Norman Smiley, and like I was talking earlier about Steve Kern, that was like a really cool thing to get to like meet him in that way and get to train with him. I remember locking up with him one time and just being like holy shit. And then Norman was kind of the guy. He was more the guy in the ring, I think Steve Kern had just gotten some surgeries or something, and by that point he wasn't really in the ring much. But Norman Smiley would get in there and roll around with us, and he knew a guy in the Tampa area because I grew up in Land O'Lakes, which is about 20 miles north of Tampa, and there's the only other game in town at that point was a place called it was called DWI, Definitive Wrestling International, and the trainer was a guy. It was owned by a guy named Anthony Devlin, and the trainer was this guy named Frankie Reyes, who was a referee. He trained in like the I don't know, early '80s, probably with the Great Malenko. So he had a lot of the old Malenko guys from that era would come through his school. That was in Riverview, Florida. So I got to meet guys like Frankie Lancaster, Mark Starr, Hector Guerrero would come and train, like help us out, training guys, and I don't know. I know I'm missing a bunch, but there's a lot of cool guys coming in there and helping out. So that was where I got to meet a lot of good guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So being on the road and stuff, like, is there anybody? Because obviously you get to meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who you consider your closest friend that you just love traveling with?
Well, yeah. So learning in wrestling school, I kind of learned basics. I learned like how to do moves and how to execute moves, but nobody really taught me how to put it all together. Yeah. The way I learned that was at that place in Riverview, Florida. Frankie Reyes' school. Michael Patrick showed up one day. He was moving. He grew up in Florida, broke in Florida, and then moved out to Texas, and then came back around like 2013 when I was just getting started. And I don't know, there was probably about 5 or 6 people in my class, and he asked everyone. He just showed up to training one day, and he asked everyone. He's like, I got a trip planned to North Florida this weekend. Anybody want to go? Anybody want to get in the car and just go wrestle? I was the only one that was like, yeah, I want to go. So we went, had our first match together, and started just traveling. I started just jumping in the car and going. We wrestled each other probably for the first first year of knowing each other, almost every weekend we'd wrestle against each other, and he's the one that kind of taught me how to have a match. He was the heel, I was the baby face, and after about a year, we decided we'd start teaming.
Nice.
And that's how we started the Dirty Blondes. I don't mean to jump ahead on you.
No, man.
But I would say,
it.
to answer your question, I would say probably Michael Patrick.
Gotcha. It's awesome.
So Brian Brock, is he Bam Bam? I think I read, or part of the Dirty Blondes. How did you get your ring name, and what's your current ring name now?
Brian Brock. Different places is Big Bad Brian Brock. Some places it's just Buckshot Brock. So it kind of somewhat.
Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Just depends where you go.
Yeah.
So this weekend, you said that you traveled with a friend of ours, the show, Jackson Slade.
Yeah.
Did you wrestle as Brian Brock, and how did that match go? Did you take him by the handlebar mustache and show him who's boss, or how'd that go?
Yeah, no, he's got the weird curly thing going on. But we had a match. He's tough, man. He's a tough dude. I can tell he's been in the ring with Vordell Walker a lot lately. Yeah.
Oh,
what was the outcome?
Well, he got the better of me this time, but
Okay.
I'm hoping to get another shot.
So do you think you're going to travel up to Panama City to XIW and show us who's boss up here?
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I was supposed to come up there about a year ago, and it just didn't end up working out. So I'm hoping I can not wind up getting up there.
Awesome,
and definitely would like to get in the ring with Jackson Slade again.
Awesome.
Oh, I hear it calling out there.
Yeah, I heard it call. So here's a part of Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast that I love to do the most. Brian Brock sitting on our TV screen here. He just called out Jackson Slade. Adrian Whisper, if you're going to watch this or listen to this, you need to make this happen. Brock versus Slade.
Yeah,
I know how much love you have for Slade, Adrian. So make this stuff happen. So
yeah,
there we go. Hopefully, I'll see it.
If I can, I just want to say hello to Adrian Whisper. Also, I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, man.
He makes the best etouffee. Also,
yes, man. It was scary because I remember 3 months ago they had to cancel an event because he was in the hospital. So he had a major infection in his ear, and it was pretty bad.
I remember hearing about.
I can't wait to see him in December, on December 2nd. So I'll pass it along that I talked to you if he doesn't respond to you. So
please do. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. So Rico.
So, well, I was asking you earlier, we were talking about, having kids and stuff. So when you decide to have a family, would you want them to kind of follow in your footsteps?
Well, I guess I don't know. That'd just be up. They'd have to take an interest in it. I don't know. I wouldn't force it upon anybody.
Gotcha. I was curious because, you get some just like, hey, this is what you're going to do. You're going to love it. You're going to do exactly what I did.
Yeah, no. That's not what my parents ever would have done to me, and I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that either.
Gotcha. I was
curious
about that.
I don't know.
Just kind of let them get a feel for it, expose them to it just like you were exposed to it, and kind of see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
So when you first got into the business, you said 2013, I think you said?
Yeah.
Where did you make your wrestling debut, and who was your opponent, and what was the result?
My first match, I was a tag team match, and it was like the typical somebody didn't show up, so I got the call. Me and my another guy that I trained with named Dave Guevara, who's a really great dude. He doesn't wrestle anymore, but he's doing the family thing, and he's married, got a couple kids, and he's doing great. Anyway, we wrestled a tag team called the Highwaymen, which was Butch Long and I forget his partner's name, but Butch Long was a guy down here in Tampa. He used to do a lot. He used to be like in WCW, get back and forth to Japan. I think he was in Puerto Rico. He was definitely a well-seasoned veteran, and they just beat us up. I had a job at Dunkin' Donuts at the time, and I went into work the next day with a black eye, and they were like, "What the hell happened to you?"
Did you get mugged?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Rico.
So what you were talking about, like kind of you started what 2012, 2013.
Yep.
Well, talk about before then. You kind of like even go back to your high school. Did you play sports, football, or anything? And you just you didn't want to go that route. You always had the wrestling in mind.
Well, I was actually a band. I was a band kid. High school.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
everybody does band too.
yeah, I say band. I was on the drum line, so I was one of the cool. I was one of
Nice.
the cool ones. But yeah, I was band. I was I played drums all through middle and high school, and I don't really keep up with it anymore. But I will say on my senior night, you know, in high school they do senior night, and you walk down the football field and they announce what you plan to do after high school. I had already signed up for FCW, and they made that big announcement that I had planning to pursue a career in pro wrestling.
There you go. There you go.
Let me guess, you got a bunch of your schoolmates like, oh man, what are you going to do that for?
No,
Yes.
they cheered. It actually got a pretty good response.
Oh, good, man.
Yeah.
Nice. So, in your career, have you won any titles? And can you tell us about them and who you defeated for those? And is there anybody that you're gunning for their title?
Well, most recently I got the FIP World Heavyweight Championship, which is pretty. It's got some history behind it. It's probably the most notable one, to be honest. I've held. I was an elite championship, elite championship wrestling tag team champion in Homa and Pensacola. I don't know if you remember any of those shows.
Not really.
It was like John Saxon and I think Jackson Slade was there. I don't know. Some other NWA Florida tag team champion down here. I don't know. There's a few others.
You mentioned John Saxon. I give Jackson Slade a hard time because John Saxon's kind of stepped into the management role of Slade and Fordell Walker and Sal. And I give shit to Jackson Slade all the time that John Saxon's a puppet master and he's controlling every move that, so
yeah.
I give crap to John Saxon all the time. So, but again, he hasn't came out and said anything back. So I don't know, man, maybe not, but whatever. Yeah. That's cool though.
Yeah, Saxon's awesome, man. He's one of the.
They are, and I say that I give him shit, but as a podcast guy, really in person, and they're really good friends, and that's I just love to stir the pot on my podcast most of the time. So
it's what he does best.
I just do it. Rico.
So I was because we talked about watching like WWE stuff like that, like AEW. But you said you like watching the older stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say? Like, do you have a couple favorite matches from those back in the day?
Favorite matches? Well, one just off the top of my head, there's one All Japan match. There's Terry Gordy and Masawa, like 91 All Japan. Forget the exact. On YouTube, I watch it all the time. There's another. Actually, Jake the Snake and Randy Savage from Tuesday in Texas, 91. That's one.
That's the one where he get bit, where Macho Man. Yeah.
I think that's the one where he got wrapped up in the ropes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That one. And he does there's the deal at the end with Elizabeth where he winds up putting his hands on Elizabeth.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Crazy.
Man, that reminds me of I don't know if you remember it, the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man career versus career match.
Mm-hmm.
That just stands up there, man. I love that match.
Oh yeah.
It was back when wrestling's still entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like it was back in the day.
Yeah, you don't feel it like that anymore.
Right.
Like the emotion. I don't know. I don't know. At least for me, that's how it is.
No, I agree with you. It's still exciting. I still love watching it, but it's not the same.
Right.
I think after the Attitude Era, things kind of dwindled down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I'd have to say that about all sports, to be honest with you. Back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, with the Bad Boys, the Pistons, and the Celtics and the Bulls, that was basketball. Nowadays, it's not. You know, I was listening to a sports show. They were talking NFL back in the 80s and 90s when there was Lawrence Taylor and Dorsett's and all them. Those guys, you got hit. When you got hit, you got hit.
Yeah.
Now this is a totally different ball game nowadays. And Tom Brady said it. He goes, "We're so protected that the game's not even close to being what it was back in the 80s."
I just watched that actually.
Yeah.
Talking about
did you?
It's up to players to protect themselves.
Yeah, you know, and I was like, so it is so true. Mm-hmm. Even if the entertainment sport of wrestling changed so much, you know. So
no, like you mentioned the Bad Boys. I was watching a story about how it was back in the day where you would get clotheslined trying to go in for a layup.
Yep.
You know, and now you barely get a tap. I seen a guy who his finger barely nicked his arm after he had already shot the ball. They're like, "Oh no, foul!"
Yep.
Come on, man.
So, what's your entrance music coming to the ring?
Oh God, that's one thing I haven't. I don't know. It's so hard. It changes like every couple weeks.
That's fair.
Haven't found one you really want to stick with?
Well, I found a lot that I really want to stick with. That's the thing. I don't know. This past weekend, I used "Over the Mountain" by Ozzy.
Okay.
I like that. That's a go-to. I like. There's a band called The Sword that I really like from Austin, Texas. They got a song called "Freya" that I just like. Got a good groove.
Okay.
Yeah. With the Dirty Blondes, we had a song that we always used. It was the Guns N' Roses version of "Hair of the Dog."
Okay. Fair. Yeah.
That was a fun one to come out to. And then I always like coming out to Kiss. I Love It Loud, like Doc and Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like a lot of the rock songs?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
All right. I'm gonna find one, see if you like it.
All right.
Like play this as your intro.
Oh yeah.
So as far as matches go, hardcore matches, cage matches, bull rope matches that Rico brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any match that you enjoy the most? And can you talk about this bull rope match coming up?
Yeah. Well, my favorite match is probably just like the standard, like falls count anywhere, wrestle around the building. I love doing those. It's a lot of fun, and kind of fits into my style, I guess. And I have a lot of fun doing those. And then as far as this bull rope match coming up, it's for the FIP world title. Wrestling a guy named August Artois, and he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's sharp, and he's got a lot to say. So it'll be an interesting match.
Well, question for you: do you have something you want to say to him right now?
Hey, he I don't know if you guys keep up with FIP or anything, but we were in a group, and he had the big world title shot, and our manager, superstar Sean Davis, we wound up turning on August and taking the contract and putting my name on it. So I got the title shot and ended up winning. So August has been crying that he got his back, or that we turned our back on him. He got stabbed in the back, and all I can say is, hey, welcome to wrestling.
There you go.
When you don't know what you're doing, you get chewed up and spit out, and that's what happens.
So you're a heel then? Is that what I'm hearing? Or?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. What was his name? I was watching you. Cha-Cha.
Cha-Cha Charlie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was watching you wrestle him, man. I was like, that was a good match. You guys really put on a good match right there. And I love how I was like, all right, man, this is about to boom, here you go, just already attacking them. I was like, well, we're getting started early.
Yeah.
So does FIP and Thunder Championship Wrestling do a lot of stuff together, or a lot of guys go back and forth?
Yeah, there's a lot of shared talent there. I don't know that they like work inter promotional wise or anything. Right. There's a lot of the same guys.
Okay. Awesome.
On each show. Yep.
So, Tokyo Monster Cahagas, we had him on the show about 2 months ago, I believe. And bless his heart, I love him. He's helping us get talent onto the show, and it's we're looking at trying to get some footage to showcase Thunder Championship Wrestling. So I'm looking forward to that. Rico and I had an amazing interview with Tokyo Cahagas.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Oh yeah.
What can you talk about? What can you tell us about your time spent at TCW?
Oh man, TCW, they're doing it right, man. They're in Polk County, Florida. They run all over Polk County, which is like, it's a very rural area, so there's not a whole lot to do. It's not like Tampa or Orlando where, you know, you can just look at the newspaper and like, or look at the newspaper. You can look at your phone and it's like Aerosmith is in town, you know, like, I don't know, sports team. Basically, the point I'm making is Polk County, there ain't a lot to do, so they love their wrestling. They come out for it, and every show there is packed house. It's a fun time. It's a good atmosphere, and it's fun for us to be in front of people like that.
Yeah. So how successful have you been in TCW?
Pretty successful. I wrestled in the first TCW championship match, and it was a battle royal, and I wound up getting tossed out by Rich, but I got a rematch, and I had it in the bag, and then this guy Tito Torres came out and cost me the match. So got a little bit of unfinished business with him. I'm planning to take care of on December 1st.
So you're talking about Rich Portayala?
Yeah.
He's on the podcast next Tuesday. So is there anything you need to say to him? Can you tell us about him? You guys good friends?
What's that?
You guys close in the ring? Are you guys competitors in the ring, or you hate him or love him, or?
I don't like him at all. When you talk to him, just tell him that once I'm done with Tito, I'm coming back after him.
So Brian Brock is coming after you. So Rich, I don't know if you'll see this, but there's another challenge. I love challenges, man. That makes me excited about you guys throwing out those challenges. So
yeah,
I'll talk about Brian Brock next Tuesday then.
All right.
So Tito, just know you're in the way, man. He's planning to break you.
Yeah, Tito, we're gonna take care of Tito. Then we're gonna come after Brock. So not Brock, but after Richie. So what can you talk about my friend Monster Cahagas? What kind of is he like a mentor to you? Would you look up to him every what you're doing, or? Yeah,
big time. Definitely a mentor. When I first started, or when I first kind of got done with the tag team doing the Dirty Blondes thing and was on my own, he was like a big help, because I started wrestling in 2013. I was in a tag team by 2014, and that was all I did up until, I don't know, just a couple years ago. And he helped me a lot. He helped me a lot, just giving me opportunities to just do it and pushing me. Like, one thing I hate well, I'm getting better at it now, but I hate promos. But he's always pushing me. He's pushing me to do promos and to talk, and I think he just knows I have it in me, and he pushes me to bring it out,
That's awesome, man.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
He's definitely a mentor to me.
Yeah, it's one of those where, if somebody believes in you, they're going to keep pushing you because they see something in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that goes along with the line that Rico and I talk to a lot of wrestlers about, paying attention to those guys in the back, like Tokyo. So is that something that you see that a lot of people don't do, or are you guys all paying attention because you know that you need to?
Well, I think it just depends on how well you can take criticism, because, Cahagas, he's just going to tell you straight up,
I don't doubt that.
Doesn't sugarcoat things, and, he's not the type of guy that's going to waste his breath either. If he tells you something and you apply it the next time, he's going to notice that, and he'll help you some more. But, he's not going to, he's not worried about you unless you're worried about yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that type of thing.
Now, was Billy Silverman in that group with TCW?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's awesome, man.
He'll be on the show mid-December, I believe.
Oh, awesome. He's awesome. He's a great dude. It's crazy having him around. Just based on his history, you know.
Oh yeah.
Turn on.
He's the referee, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. You can turn on anything from like, you know, those late '90s nitros, and he's all over it.
Yeah. Hey Rico, it's your turn, man. I'm sorry, but blowing up.
Oh no, man, we're asking away. I'm just having a ball. So, is there one person or maybe a couple to where when you're in the ring with, you feel the most comfortable, like the safest? No, I love being in the ring with this person.
Yeah. Well, most recently there's a guy named Stephen Frick. I've been wrestling pretty often, and we don't have to even really talk about anything. We just go out there and do our thing, and it's usually pretty solid. And who else? I know there's more. I'm drawing a blank. I mean, Kagas is another one. I always know I don't have to worry about anything when I'm in there with him. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
Think.
yeah, 'cause I was actually just watching Stone Cold talk about him and The Rock, and he's saying that like kind of the chemistry was just so perfect. Like
Yeah.
he said, didn't even have to talk; they just went in there and put on one hell of a show.
Yeah, man, I would actually, based on chemistry, I would probably say that guy Stephen Frick. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's been on TCW and FIP. He's somebody to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. So you were at the end of your career or getting to that, and there had to be one ultimate dream match, whether it's in the independents, whether it's in the majors. Who would you want, and what kind of match would you want?
My dream match?
Yeah.
Be I've always said it would be against Steve Corino in a bull rope match. Because he had the one with Dusty, and Dusty did like he got the arm scars. Yeah. And if I got to have one with Steve Corino, I would want to get the arm scars.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, so what's your favorite match that you've been in? Like off the top of your head, just
it was
actually your favorite matches that you've had.
It would probably be a tag match. Me and Michael Patrick as the Dirty Blondes against Cahagas and Michael Tarver. That happened at Thunder Championship Wrestling, probably 2019. Yeah, that was a good one.
Get your ass kicked?
Yeah.
You said
Couldn't even hesitate with that one.
You mentioned Cahagas and Tarver, man. Those boys are bad dudes.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that style.
Yeah.
That's the way I try to be. So
they're bad dudes.
That's how you got to get in there with the guys that know how to do it.
Yeah. So I'm Jackson Slade, and I'm preparing for you, and we're getting that match. And what kind of signature holds and moves should someone anticipate?
From me?
Coming from you.
Okay, yeah. Definitely look out for that clothesline, lariat. If I can get that on you, there's a good chance that's going to be it.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
It's kind of like that JBO clothesline from hell.
Yeah, that's who I try to emulate.
Man, that looks like he tries to take people's heads off with it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man. So, sorry, someone's bothering my contacts, mess with me. Because you've been doing this 11 years now, 12 years.
January will be 11 years.
What advice would you give to the rookies just starting their journey? What would you say to them?
Just learn your basics. Learn how to not to sound too artsy or anything. Learn how to color in the lines before you try to color outside the lines. You know what I mean?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many guys there are that can go out there and do a million crazy things and then not lock up or grab a headlock properly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Can do
focus.
a 360 flip, Leon, but can't do an arm drag or nothing.
Yeah.
No, I got you. Yeah, just stick with the basics, the fundamentals, and
And
go
also,
from there.
uh, just wrestle as much as you can. Be in the ring as every chance you get. Get out there and wrestle.
So have you sustained any injuries in your career, and what kind of moves hurt the most when you guys
Man, I've been really lucky, man. I haven't had anything crazy happen, knock on wood. But yeah, other than a few I don't know, gotten rocked a couple times, but nothing crazy.
What move hurts the most?
I would say what hurts the worst? Probably one of the Cahagas's chops.
I was just gonna say that. Cahagas chop.
I got a chair behind me right there that came from the XIW event.
Oh yeah.
And there's a dent in it. Like, I mean, I was the front row in that, man. I think Damian Wayne took it from Slade, or Slade took it from Damian Wayne. And that sounded like it hurt like heck. So I can't imagine a clothesline from Cahagas not feeling too good either. So
yeah.
For a chop nevertheless.
Yeah, chairs ain't no fun, man.
Have you ever who's kind of, I guess, just made your bell rung your bell, like accidentally hit you, but hit you really good?
Oh, well, there's a guy down here named I feel bad saying this about him, Jerome Hendricks, because he's a great dude, but he's caught me with some taters in the past. Yeah, and then actually took a chair shot one time from a dude named there's a wrestler named Mike Sullivan, who was really big down here in probably like late 90s, early 2000s. He was also wrestled as Freedom Rider. He caught me with a chair shot one time that I definitely felt that one.
All right. Feeling it the next day.
Yeah. Did
Slade hit you with any hard shots?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's tough. We were giving each other some hard shots, and he was right there. He was right there bringing it back.
Yep.
Have you ever chopped somebody yourself, and you're just like, as you did it in your head, like, I know that hurt him.
Yeah,
I know that hurt.
Try to do that every time I chop.
Yeah. Well, so that leads me to that ultimate question everybody asks, the professional wrestlers. What do you have to say to those unbelievers that what you guys do is real?
I don't know, man. I don't really have anything to say because they're just ignorant.
Fair. Facts.
Fair enough.
You know?
I mean, I wouldn't want to go in there and do it.
I don't know of anything stupider you could say.
All right. Fair.
I mean, that's just straight blunt to the point, because it's honestly the truth. You know, you could talk all the jazz you want about it, but until you step in there yourself, you're never going to know.
Like, if you're someone that gets it and you're trying to explain it to someone that doesn't get it, usually they're not even willing to get it. You know what I mean? They already have their mind made up, and you're not going to change their mind. So why bother?
Go take that superplex off that top turnbuckle. You know,
yeah.
Let me know how that feels.
Yeah, tell me that doesn't hurt.
Like, don't tell my knees and shoulders that it's fake.
Right. Yeah. Nope.
So do you have any because you travel the road, do you have any crazy road stories? Like, what's the craziest thing that's happened on the road to you?
Oh man, nothing really jumps out. I never did anything real crazy.
Anybody else done something crazy you've been with?
Oh man. Not really. I don't know.
All right.
I'm sorry. Nothing.
You're good. Fair enough, man. Hey, if you ain't got him, you ain't got him.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. It means nobody's doing nothing crazy.
Yeah.
So let's talk about fans and your fan interactions, the merch table. What do you enjoy most about interacting with your fans, and do you have any memorable fan encounters?
Well, I have. I like. Yeah, I like talking to. I like. I like talking with the fans that appreciate what we do, and the ones that of course, want to spend their money. I appreciate that. And then as far as bad encounters, I didn't have any. I've never really had any bad encounters at the merch table, but I have had a fan try to get involved in a match one time. We had to take care of that. It was a tag team, like we were in a bar. It was a tag team match, and we're fighting by the bar, and we get into the spot, and my partner kind of nudged into this guy to get up near the bar where we needed to be to do what we were trying to do, and the guy shoved Mike, my partner. Mike turned around and shoved him on his ass and threw a beer on him. And then the mistake Mike made is he turned his back on the guy and went back to doing what we were doing. Well, about a few seconds later, the guy comes up behind him and grabs him and puts him in like a chokehold. And I walked over, or I started making. I saw what was going on and ran and made my way over there to get on the guy. And there's beer all over the ground at this point, so I'm slipping around. It looks like a hockey fight. And I finally got a hold of the guy and got him in a front like a front face lock, and just started trying to get him in the ribs, and you just beat him up until somebody came and got him, and they finally pulled us all apart. But that's probably the craziest fan interaction I've ever had.
So Jackson Slade pops into the chat. So Jackson, he's challenged you to a match, and we need to talk to Whisper about bringing him up to XIW in Panama City so you guys can get each other. But Jackson Slade has a memorable moment. That time in Dothan where we caught a peep show at the hotel. Now you gotta tell us about that.
Oh,
You
man.
see, you hid that from us. And now Jackson Slade, one of the smartest things he's done so far in the last 3 months is share this.
That wasn't me that spotted that. I actually can't remember. We were in Dothan. We did the Continental Championship Wrestling reunion show, and it was like me, Slade. I think Ryan Ocean was with us. I think it was just us, and or no, Saxon was there too. And no, it wasn't Saxon. It was somebody else went to get a drink or get ice or something at the hotel and walked past somebody's room, and you peeked in there and saw them, doing their thing. And then I don't know. That was basically it. He came and got us, and we all went and saw it for ourselves.
There you go.
That's
Thanks,
one of those.
Jackson.
I don't believe you. I don't believe. Whoa, okay.
At least that's my recollection of it. That was actually a pretty foggy night for me.
There you go.
Next we have Slade on here. He'll give you a better version of it.
If Slade can come on here next week prior to the match and maybe face his dad on a one-on-one little face-off, maybe if he has the guts to face his dad, I don't know, but he's kind of scared, I think, of Adrian Whisper coming into this cage match. I don't know, right, Jackson?
I think Jackson should pop on right now.
I should say if John Saxon lets Jackson come on the show, then we'll hear that story. But well, I'll try to get that story.
He's just digging into you, man.
Rico.
So where do you see, in maybe the next 5-10 years, man? Do you plan on trying to progress up into the WWE status, AEW, or do you want to keep it in the indies?
I mean, of course, I would love that. It's never, when I got into wrestling, that was never it was never my my ultimate goal. It was never I had to be in WWE. I have to make it there. It wasn't ever like that. I just wanted to be a wrestler. I wanted to travel, and I wanted to just make a living at it. That would be my ultimate goal, is just to make a living as a wrestler, whatever that looks like. I would say my biggest goal or dream right now is to get to Japan. That would be like the ultimate thing for me.
Gotcha.
Yep.
No, that's pretty awesome, man. A lot of guys love it. A lot of guys love it.
I gotta say this. Jackson said is right. It's Brian's time. He mad respect from Jackson to Brian. It's Brian's time, not his. So thank you for that mad respect. So, which brings me to this next question. How important is, and this was brought up to Rico and I by Tokyo Kahagas, this topic. I've never thought about this topic until I interviewed him. So let's talk about brotherhood in the business of professional wrestling, and follow that up with paying your dues back to the business. You talked about how important brotherhood is and what it means to pay back to the business.
Sure. There's there's a lot of times when you're traveling and stuff, that's all you got is each other, like it gets I don't know, a lot of just dealing with promoters, dealing with traveling, all of it gets kind of, it wears on you. So it's good to have a group of guys that you can count on and rely on, and don't mind, spending a lot of time with.
Right.
Because there ain't nothing glamorous about it except for the 15 or 20 minutes we get in the ring. And then as far as like the paying your dues thing, I think it's really important. It gives you a respect for what we do, and if everything's just handed to you, then what does it mean?
Now, paying your dues means we're talking get there early, setting the ring up, setting the chairs up, staying late after you went 15, 20 minutes, busting your ass in the ring, getting hurt, staying to take it all down. Is that what you're talking about, paying the dues? Is that part of that?
Yeah. I mean, that is definitely part of it. And then also just the traveling, driving, not making much money. I think staying, 5-6 guys in a hotel, like pulling the mattress off the box spring, and 2 on a mattress, 2 on a box spring, maybe somebody on an air mattress, just finding a way to make it happen, even when you don't have a lot to work with. I think that's paying your dues.
I was going to ask that too. How many people have you had to fit in one room?
Oh man, that's a good question. Yeah, probably 6 or 7.
It's a good number of people for one room, man.
And but we've also a lot in the car too. We've probably been in like a normal, like a sedan type car with eight people.
I mean, I think there's a misconception of fans, especially, that we all think that you guys are glamorous and you guys live this lifestyle because you're professional wrestling. And talking to a lot of people, I began to understand that it's not about that. It's not all that glitz and glamorous. You guys have to share hotel rooms, have to share rides, because you guys don't make as much as everybody thinks you guys do during the match. So I've had a lot of mad respect for that, for what you guys do and what you put yourself through, and then how you get to a place. Shoot, 6, 7 big guys like you in a sedan. You guys are traveling. It's got to be like sardines, and then now you just wrestled a match, and now we're gonna stay in a hotel on like you said, a box spring.
Yeah,
that's not fun either, And so mad respect goes out to you guys doing that.
Definitely. That just shows, how much you guys love the business, because you're willing to go through all that.
Absolutely.
Just put on a show to do what you love to do.
Right.
You not getting paid that much and jam packed in a car in a hotel, but you still go out there and give it your all the time, man.
Yeah, and a Saturday starts at 10 o'clock in the morning for you guys, and it doesn't get over until the 2 or 3 hours after the show's over.
Yeah.
And so you guys mad respect, because what you guys do is not. I don't think a lot of people understand that part of it. So I don't know if I'm right or not, but I don't think a lot of people.
Definitely. No, you are. Yeah, it's absolutely right.
It's that determination.
Yeah.
And it's like those things. You're going to do what you can do to make your next bound to and the New Japan or whatever. You have to start here, and it's going to take several years to get to what your final goal is. And
Yeah.
if you don't put in the work, they're not going to get that. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that business, nothing's going to get handed to you. You have to bust your butt and take it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever, I'm pretty sure you probably come across a couple guys who had those egos where I don't need to help set nothing up, man. I just come here wrestle. That's all I got to do. Or help out with anything, I don't know if you have, but I mean, I've heard stories from guys where you get the guys with the big egos feel like they don't have to help out in any way.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you probably run into that in anything, any job. But I don't know. I've always tried to not really worry too much about what other people were doing and just stick to what I'm doing. I know as long as I'm doing what I know I'm supposed to do, then I don't know. Kind of all I worry about.
Yep. So I've told you in the beginning that I'm the foster parent. I have 8 kids, and they gave some questions. They're the same questions, but they want me to ask them. So it's just a fire questions. Okay, ready?
All right.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, My Cousin Vinny.
Cousin Vinny, good one. Favorite TV show?
It's a tie. That's a tie. The Sopranos or Trailer Park Boys.
I haven't watched that yet.
I love Trailer Park
I've been
Boys.
told I need to check that out. But Sopranos, love the Sopranos, man.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
All right. Do you read books? If so, what's your favorite book?
All-time favorite book is The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway.
All right.
Ernest Hemingway.
Favorite food?
Ooh, barbecue. Probably pork. Okay. Boston butt.
What's your favorite cartoon?
Johnny Bravo.
Oh man, I'm pretty.
There you go. Smack. You play video games?
I've never gotten into the video games other than like sports games. Like I used to play a lot of MLB The Show on PlayStation 2. That's the last gaming system I had was PlayStation 2. If that that tells you anything.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I'm okay with it. With it. I don't order it, but I have had it, and I don't hate it.
Do you acknowledge the tribal chief?
Oh, what does that mean?
Roman Reigns.
All right. And then I throw this one in there. Well, first of all, big plans for Thanksgiving. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food, man?
I like the candied yams. Yeah, I don't know. You guys do that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Not anymore. I haven't done it in a long time, but.
So here's a TikTok question. I started this journey on TikTok. So the TikTok question of Wrestle Talk. Don't think too much about this.
Okay.
Who is the greatest WCW champion of all time?
Besides David Arquette?
David Arquette. There you go. There you go. So yeah, that's the kids' questions they had for you.
All right.
So yeah, and I have a chat question for you, a comment.
Okay.
Nothing's handed to you unless you're Jake Paul. What's your hot take on that?
That sounds like more like a statement.
There you go. I agree.
So, Huge Pop, let me ask you, because I already know the answer, but
say what?
I was going to ask Huge Pop, who's the greatest WCW champion of all time?
My favorite that's David Arquette. But I like Sting.
See, I thought he was going to say
Sting all day. Sting all day. Best wrestler around. Sting all day.
And he's retiring.
Sad day. That's all right. Mr. Brian, if you could go back and turn back time, what retired wrestler would you have loved to have had a match with?
Terry Gordy. Yep. He's my all-time Terry Gordy.
Okay. Here you go.
I would definitely. I was thinking about that, man. If I was wrestling, call me crazy, but Mick Foley. So
Oh
I'd
yeah.
love to have a crazy match with them. Yeah, I mean, have you ever had the thumbtacks match or anything like that? The barbed wire?
No, I never have. I've done like crazy like street fight type stuff, but I never did like the death match stuff. So
Some of that stuff looks pretty crazy.
yeah, yeah.
So how would you best describe your wrestling style, and what can fans expect from you in their matches to see?
I just try to hit hard and I try to hit hard and keep the action going.
Gotcha.
I like that. I guess in simple terms, I would just say a brawler.
Okay.
Like trying to knock people's heads off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I love that early '90s All Japan style. I love
Okay.
if you remember when Mid South turned into Universal Wrestling Federation. I love that style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like big. I don't know. I just love heavyweight wrestling.
Nice, nice.
So what is your take on when guys hit somebody now, or they do the super kick, they do the smack of the leg, and you can every single time, or they clap their hands, whatever. What is your take on that? Do you like it or?
Silly. I think it's. I mean, unless you can make it look really good, but I don't know. I'd rather just hit somebody and make a noise than not hit them and slap my thigh.
Well, yeah,
What
you
kind
see some of them, man. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Come on, what were you thinking, man?
yeah.
So what does being a wrestler and being involved in the wrestling business mean to you in your personal life?
Man, it's kind of I don't know. It's like it's like my identity amongst my friends and stuff. I'm the wrestler guy, with my friends and family that aren't involved in wrestling. You know, it's a big part of who I am to them. So, I love.
Awesome.
And you got everybody supporting you and everything, family and friends. Nobody goes against you on it.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
no,
awesome, man.
I got a lot of I got a lot of support. Yeah.
Awesome. So a wrestling match, I'm sure, takes a lot of thought process of what the outcome is going to be and how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And how do referees function in a live match? Like, how important is it for you guys to have a good relationship with the ref and communication with the ref, the other part, your opponent, and the guys in back that are talking all the time and to make it go?
Well, I think with a ref, I don't know, a good ref, I don't know. You do have to be on the same page. Like if it's just a normal one-on-one match, all three people in the ring have to be on the same page, and it doesn't necessarily require a lot of like verbal communication. A good ref is going to know where to be, and a good wrestler will know not to bury his ref and make him look stupid.
Ever been in a match that happened where your opponent
Oh yeah.
buried the ref or did something dumb that you were like,
Yeah.
afterwards you want to get out of that ring and back in the back and beat the piss out of him for doing something dumb?
Well, no specific, no like specific match comes to mind. I just hate it when like when the refs like when you're blatantly cheating in front of the ref. It's like I don't know if you were standing on the corner and you saw somebody just walk up and like beat the shit out of an old person and a cop was standing right there, would you be more mad at the guy that beat up the old person or more mad at the cop for not doing anything? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that's your job.
Like,
Protect.
yeah, like the heat. So just like the psychology of the match, the heat is in the wrong place if the ref sees what's going on, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rico.
Have you guys ever had like big brawls break out backstage where people are just not getting along, miscommunication?
Yeah, stuff like that happens, but it usually gets sorted out before it gets too far.
Good. Doesn't get too crazy.
Nah.
Now, do you got, you were TCW, FIP. Are those your two main promotions you deal with, or do you have others around you that you enjoy traveling to as well?
Yeah, here lately, that's kind of the main two places I've been working consistently.
Wow.
I was recently up in Canada for a promotion called Project X Wrestling, hoping to get back out there soon. There's a spot in Virginia Championship Wrestling that I've worked for in the past that I'm hoping to get back up there for them soon. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, it's just kind of also CCW in Florida. They run Florida, Tennessee. So
that Coastal Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yep. Good guys. So, what kind of goals do you still have for the next 5 years?
My biggest goal, like I was saying earlier, is just I don't know. I don't know how, when, or how, but I would love to get a chance to wrestle in Japan.
Okay. You'll make it happen, man. There's a will, there's a way.
I appreciate it.
Rico.
I asked my last question already, man. I'm sorry. I wasted it.
All right. Do you feel comfortable just staying in the independents, or would you like a contract with the AEW, ROH, Impact, NWA?
I'm comfortable in the independents. I would love, a contract, but at the same time, contracts can get on that unless it's like, I don't know. I guess unless it's WWE or AEW, I think contracts can get kind of messy sometimes. So I'm happy being an independent. Okay. And, it doesn't mean, I don't know. It's not that I'm not ambitious or anything. It's just, I like my freedom, and I love being an independent wrestler.
All right. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. And I have a couple more. So if a booker or a company would book you, where would they contact you? Is there anything that you would like to tell the HPWP fans and your fans before we get out of here?
Well, to contact me, I'm just Brian Brock on Facebook and Brian Brock Wrestling on Instagram. What was the other question again? I'm sorry.
Is there anything you'd like to tell the HPW, the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast fans or your fans?
Yeah.
Just let them know what's going to happen.
Yeah, just thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for thanks for caring what I what I have to say about stuff. I don't know. This is the first time I've really done anything like this, so I appreciate y'all having me. And
not a problem.
I appreciate
man.
You coming
Everybody
on.
tune into that bull rope match, man. Yeah, what's the date?
That's Sunday, December 10th at OCC Roadhouse in Clearwater, Florida.
Is that getting live streamed on anything?
I don't think. If anything, it's an iPay-per-view.
iPay-per-view.
I do believe it's an iPay-per-view.
So is it FIP or TCW?
WWN Live. FIP.
FIP. Okay.
Yeah. It's WWN FIP.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I'd like to say thank you to Brian Brock. Thank you to TCW and Cahagas.
Thank you.
I look forward to doing Rico. I look forward to doing. Yes, go ahead.
Also, December 1st, Sanders Lakeside, TCW.
TCW.
I believe that's at 8 o'clock bell times, Friday night. I'm gonna beat the shit out of Tito Torres.
Oh,
Tito
I want to see that.
There you go. Another match. Tito Torres, you got your hands full. Like looking at this guy, Brian Brock. I don't know how tall he is, how big he is, but he looks like a monster. And I don't think I'd mess with him. And I know I wouldn't mess with him. So thank you, Brian, for coming on the show. Thank you, TCW, Tokyo Cahagas, for setting this up. I look forward to doing more with TCW. I'd like to have you back around in 2024 to check up and see how you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am so grateful for the opportunity. And Brian, I'm going to play a closing little promo thing. Thank you again. Don't go anywhere. Don't click off here. I'd like to talk to you in the lobby after this closing.
Thank you, man.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Huge Pop Wrestling fans, Rico, Brian, we love you guys. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Thank you for watching at all platforms. You'll see the platforms listed at the end of this video. Thank you again, and you guys be blessed.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house.
Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out.
Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with the devil, because when he's dealing with you, you cannot get on this level.
Fight with Adrian Whisper, it's like a fight with a king. It's like a fight with an army, they got the tanks and everything.
He's leaving bruises and stitches, possibly leaving you crippled, cause when he sets up the table and sends you straight through the middle.
6 sadistic free, beat that ass with a light bulb. Leave a piece of glass embedded in the back of your skull. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better